Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Heel Shit. On today's episode, pro wrestling news, rumors, spoilers, discussions, and predictions. And your hosts, Dark Cordz and Draven Rhymes.
Welcome back to Talkin' Shit. Just what it sounds like, just three dudes talking shit. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes, that's Thump Dupree. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up, what up?
Yeah, another beautiful day in fucking paradise, my guy. Another beautiful.
That's what I like.
I know something we can talk about.
What's that?
The fucking draft. Not the football draft, but the football draft was more interesting than the WWE draft, though. the WWE draft seems like it did absolutely fucking nothing. And the thing is, how do you come off of how many years have they? I mean, it's been a while since they had a draft, right? But everybody's been working everything, and everybody's going to continue to work everything. You know, they work Raw and SmackDown based on storylines. So why does it, like, who really gives a fuck what brand they're drafted to? Like, you know you're going to see Riddle on SmackDown, even though he got drafted to Raw. You know you're going to see the Usos on both. You know you're going to see Roman Reigns on both. You know you're going to see, you know, and if they stop doing that, the fucking ratings are going to go down. You really think we're going to sit and watch a Cody Rhodes fucking Seth Rollins angle that goes on for an entire 2 years with no other support from anybody? I don't understand why it became relevant for them to have a draft, unless the only thing I can think of is they were trying to give a bigger platform for all those NXT. They brought a lot of NXT people up. I mean, a long list, and they didn't make a big deal out of a lot of them, like Zoe Stark and that Grayson Waller guy, and you know a lot of these other that JD McDonough, who he should have been on the main roster anyway. He's one of the best workers in the company. But they fucking, I don't understand what the big fucking deal is, because you know, unless they stay brand loyal, which you know they're not gonna, because how can they? They don't really have good enough storylines other than the main event storyline going right now to do a split like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure they're still killing AEW in the ratings, and that's all they care about anyway. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I did see that Roddy's made his debut in AEW. Depending on what AEW does with him, if they just bring back, you know, the Bobby Fish, well, it's probably not going to be Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong deal, if they bring that back, then it'll just be another faction. That's one thing AEW does not lack, is fucking faction.
Right.
So who knows, you know. And there's only so much TV time with it. You know, if they put them on Rampage maybe and let them run roughshod through Rampage, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to them and the House of Black, or them and fucking the Elite. And that's, you know, that's pretty much it. Or what do they call the? I forgot what they call packing fucking.
Oh, Death Triangle.
Yeah, Death Triangle. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's those factions, and then now they just got one now with fucking Hook in it, and it makes it with Jeff Hardy, and that shit makes no fucking sense. I can't figure out what the hell they're doing half the time anyway. That shit is a mystery to me.
I love the Blackpool Combat Club faction. I mean, I love what they're doing as heels right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Predictable though, you know, and the way they turned them heel like overnight, there was no real schnoz to it, no backstory. They just decided they were gonna start beating the shit out of everybody. You know?
Well, they slowly. I mean, it was more slow if you think back to the last Moxley Hangman feud. He's slowly started to turn there.
Yeah. What about Danielson and Cesaro? Of course, Cesaro, he has no charisma anyway, so it doesn't matter. He could be a babyface or a heel from week to week, and you wouldn't know the difference. And Yuta, now they made Yuta like this badass when he was losing for the most part for a while. I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of it. I think it would be a lot better if Steve Regal was there and not at WWE.
Oh, yeah, of course. But if you notice, Bryan Danielson has never come out of the babyface tunnel. He's always come out of the heel tunnel. I know he's cheered like a babyface, but I don't know that they wanted to present him that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, they just have so much going on, but nothing really happening at AEW. They start on something and they move away from it. I don't think they're going to make a lot of money. I think they're going to start losing money with MJF, and unless they do something, they need to sign somebody or do something different with someone like Jay White. Bring somebody along, Will Ospreay, somebody that can do an angle with MJF that's got some pop to it. 'Cause nobody really cares about seeing Kenny Omega. Nobody really cares about seeing Moxley not work MJF. They've already done it. They beat it into the ground. They beat all of it into the ground. And so it's kind of left, maybe that's what they're going to do with Roddy. Maybe that's what they're going to do with Adam Cole. Maybe that's, who knows? They do seem to be presenting them as baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
So that's possible.
I'm excited that Roddy's in AEW. I mean, his offense is exciting.
He's 190 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's 190 pounds. That's what's always killed him. Yeah, but he's awesome.
Right.
Having been in the ring with him, I'm telling you, he's amazing. But he's little, he's small. So I don't know how Tony Khan is gonna. I don't know if Tony Khan's gonna push him that way. They have mid card belts, but mid card belts seem to be like Sammy Guevara and like. Well, of course, they're doing this shit with Wardlow, but that's just trying to build him up. Wardlow ultimately will be the opponent for MJF if MJF carries that belt for a year or whatever, 2 years or some ridiculous amount. Wardlow will ultimately be, because the storyline's been set in place since the beginning of AEW when he was with them. So, that exists. But I don't know, man. Wrestling's disappointing lately. I'm just not fired up about what I see on TV at all. I watched NXT last night and turned it off about 30 minutes in.
I can't watch it. There's something wrong with NXT. I can't. I used to love it. I can't.
See, I thought that we were going to see like this whole like new group of people since all those people got, drafted, but they're just showing the ones that sucked anyway, like the ones that weren't worth a shit, So I don't know, man. I mean, and like everybody that they brought down, they brought back up, Jinder Mahal and all those guys, which that faction has become pretty cool. So their work is actually worthy. Apollo Crews, why they haven't released him, I don't know. Apollo Crews is a mid-card AEW guy all day long. He's a mid-card AEW guy waiting to happen. Bronson Reed, you're going to find out that WWE's not going to do a whole hell of a lot with Bronson Reed because he's not that body type that Vince likes for a big man. I don't know. It's just a weird time. It's a weird time for wrestling. It's great because Roman Reigns has done so much to make it, to make money. He's the money guy. He is their draw. But shit, man, the guy can't work, 365 year after year after year after year after year. He's got to have some time off. Mm-hmm. And right now, in this little lull where he's not on, where he's not on TV, you can definitely tell the difference in the excitement in the show and the the main event storyline. I'm sorry, but I'm not believing that Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are going to have a good match. I'm not believing that that's even possible. Just like I never believed that Seth Rollins would have a good match with Brock Lesnar. It's just not believable to me. You know?
Well, Cody had that amazing match with Wardlow. I mean, he can work big guys.
Mm-hmm. But Wardlow ain't Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Brock, you're talking about the most decorated combat fighter in history, and a guy that's 285 pounds, legit. You know, he's not. And could, if he wanted to, in any wrestling match, if he wanted to shoot, he could shoot and kill a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just the fact that he's a shooter. If Brock would have never been a shooter, if Brock would have always been a wrestler, it would have been a lot more believable to me. It'd be a little bit more. But seeing him pound guys' faces into the ground in UFC makes it hard. And like the shit he did to Randy Orton, you know, and some of the other guys he's fucked up in WWE. It's just it's hard for me to believe that. It's not only just hard for me to believe that Cody Rhodes can beat him. It's hard for me to believe that Cody Rhodes want to fight him. It's just hard for me to believe. Like, if they came to me and said, "Hey, we want you to work with Brock Lesnar," I'd be like, "Okay," but I wouldn't be fucking overjoyed.
Right.
You know, what if I took the last piece of celery in catering one day and pissed him off? You don't know. You don't know where motherfuckers' mindsets are coming from, bro.
Right.
They'll get out there and fuck you up, man. And I'm quite sure Brock Lesnar could successfully fuck my old ass up. Oh. So I just can't get behind the idea that Cody Rhodes is going, Brock Lesnar? Fuck yeah. Can't wait. I just can't.
The fucking three of us together.
Yeah,
I don't want to fight Brock Lesnar with the three of us.
Yeah. The only way I want to fight Brock Lesnar is with a fucking with a really clean 40 cal. Like no chance of a misfire. Two in the chest, two in the head. Thanks for coming out. That's it. That's the only way that I want Brock Lesnar coming at me with any intention of hurting me. You know, and I just can't believe Cody Rhodes is excited about having a match with Brock Lesnar. And you know, like when they did that pull apart deal the other night on Monday Night Raw, I'm believing that, like I'm believing Cody Rhodes can get pregnant. Like seriously, like you know, like I just don't.
He's fucking crazy though. See, that's the difference. He set himself on fire. He's fucking insane. So.
Yeah.
I mean, a moonsault off the top of the fucking cage, like, dude is crazy. So
yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to do something because they got to put Cody over, otherwise they might as well just send him. They might as well fucking release him.
Right.
They have to put him over. It's not like with Roman. With Brock, him losing to Roman means one of two things. It means Brock's free agent, so he's not. They're already saying that he's not brand loyal.
Right.
So when that belt. They're either going to put that belt on Cody or put that belt on Brock. If they put it on Brock, Cody can might as well get used to fucking working with fucking Austin Theory, because that's his future.
Mm.
You know.
You know, I think it'll be very evident what their plan is with Cody if he beats Brock Lesnar. If he beats Brock Lesnar, then he will eventually dethrone Reigns.
Yeah. And I don't know that even that's the plan. You know, 'cause a lot of people think it's Jey Uso. You know, because they're doing this deal now where, like, Sikoa's been supposed to come out and beat the shit out of them. At least that seems like that's the overtone.
Right.
That he's supposed to come out and beat it, and he's supposed to. But I think it's really crazy that they would expect us to believe that his blood brother would come out and attack his two older blood brothers for Roman Reigns. I don't. It doesn't seem like a Samoan thing.
Right.
You know.
Well,
it doesn't seem.
We were talking about this on Weekend Wrestling last night. I don't know. Me and Draven obviously noticed it, but did you notice that on Friday night the Usos got drafted to Raw, and then on Raw they got drafted to SmackDown?
No.
They were in the first round picks on Friday night, and Raw selected them. And then on Monday, night 2 of the draft, they drafted him back to SmackDown.
Well, let me ask you this: Did they take them all?
No,
I remember they said
there was,
Roman Reigns and Solo.
Yeah, Roman Reigns, Solo, and Heyman were in one pick.
Yeah.
And
Right,
then
and
the Usos were in another pick. And I don't know what happened, but if you go back and watch, Raw had, like, they picked, who did they pick first? I don't know I can't remember who they picked first, but their second pick in the first round was the Usos. Which I thought was fucking crazy. And then we hear them on Monday getting drafted back to SmackDown. Like, that doesn't...
I mean, they obviously are working towards some kind of a story between Roman and the Usos. They're obviously doing something in that direction, because they would have taken them all together like they do every other faction. You know, like the Judgment Day, they all got drafted together. All of them.
The OC.
You know, OC all got drafted
That was
together.
a good fucking segment on SmackDown when the Viking Raiders came out and then AJ was like, handle your business, and they just went to town. That was a good segment.
And bro, let me tell you something. AJ overcame a fucked up injury pretty fast.
Yeah.
6 months, I think it was.
Right at it. It was November when it happened.
Wow, who's this blonde chick on Fox in the morning now? She's smoking. It's not the older lady that barely moves her mouth.
Is that?
It's another chick.
Is it Fox and Friends, the show?
On right now, yeah.
Yeah, she's been there for a while. She's hot. Well, sure. Speaking of Fox, are we celebrating that Tucker Carlson got fired, or I am? Fuck that guy.
I don't give a shit. Like, really, I don't care. I don't watch enough of it to get fired up about him anyway. Like, I try to get my news off the internet. I try to, I anything that's. I mean, they had Bill O'Reilly on there talking about Tucker getting fired, and I mean, Bill O'Reilly is like everything I've never wanted to watch on TV. Like, he annoys the fuck out of me. Anytime I don't care what their politics are. Anytime a newscaster tries to make their character or their brand bigger than the news they're delivering, that annoys the shit out of me. And he's one of them. He's one of them. That turd that used to be on Shepard Smith, that fucking goofy fucking bastard. He's the kind of guy that he's like Tucker. You know he was born to be. Your name's Shepard. Your parents groomed you to be a turd. Like, you were born to be a fucking jerk off. And wear visors and shit. And you know why guys wear visors, right? To hide the circumcision scars, because they're usually dickhead.
That's good shit. That's good shit.
But I mean, they used to say that about Steve Spurrier. Why did Steve Spurrier wear a visor? It was a big joke in Tampa. Like, to hide the circumcision scars. Yeah. Dick.
Yeah, no, Fox is in a world of hurt right now.
But by the way, Shepard Smith introduces himself. I'm Shepard Smith. And Trace Gallagher. Like, this, what the fuck? Who the fuck are these people? Where do they find them? Do they go to like the Yale fucking golf team alumni meetings and pluck these guys out of there? Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are these people?
They got a list of names. Like, we don't have a Tanner.
Yeah.
Is there any Tanners here?
We don't have any Tanners no, we need a Fletcher. We need somebody named Fletcher. Fletcher. Soap opera names and shit. Yeah, man. What the fuck? I mean, dude, I would fucking strangle my mom to death like an anaconda if she named me fucking Tucker. Tucker because all his friends called him Tucker the fucker.
Oh, yeah.
And all the chicks around in his life called him, say, fuck Tucker. Fuck Tucker. It just rolls right off your tongue. Tucker's a fucker.
A lot of fucking things people don't know about Tucker Carlson. Like, when he was at, I can't remember what college he went to, but in his yearbook, one of his accolades was the founder of the Tim White Society. And for those of you who don't know, Tim White, his only claim to fame was he murdered the first openly gay congressman in California. That's the only thing that he's known for. And that's Tucker's hero, apparently, according to his yearbook.
Wow.
Like,
I mean, how did he get, like, shit like that when people are getting canceled for fucking dropping the N-word by mistake or saying, you know, or saying some dumb shit about gay people, like, people are getting canceled. How the fuck do you get a job? I don't know. You almost have to be a perfect person to get a news job anymore. I mean, like in Orlando, we have this guy. Actually, I can't remember his name. I'll think of it in a second. Big, buff, kind of athletic-y looking dude. But his dad got paralyzed in a match against Marty Jannetty.
what?
Legit. Chad something. I think his name's Chad Smith, but I don't remember his dad's name. But his dad was a pro wrestler. Legit. And like in the 70s or back when right when Marty Jannetty started, fucking up, after the Shawn Michaels deal and all that, and he got released, he was working an indie show and he paralyzed the dude. And I don't remember how he did it. I've seen the video before. I can't remember. Chad. The guy's name's Chad. I know that's his first name. But Chad's not a turd. Like, Chad is like very does a lot in the community. People love him, and the old ladies love him, and he's the kind of guy that you'd want to see on the national news. But he's not, because he's not a turd. The only ones that deliver national news, it seems like, are turds.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have Trace Gallagher in Orlando. Trace Gallagher never even made it to the fucking desk in Orlando. He was a field reporter. And he got picked up by Fox. Probably because he was a turd. And his name was Trace. Yeah. Yeah. Like, seriously, there has to be, like, some process where they recruit these guys where they're like, all right, how many rape charges did he beat in college? That kind of shit. Like, what, was he a good lacrosse player or an average lacrosse player? We don't want anybody good. We want an average guy. Oh, he almost made the Duke team? You mean the one that supposedly raped all those girls but got acquitted? Oh, let's bring this motherfucker in. There's got to be some kind of ridiculous fucking criteria to get you hired by these news, because they're all fucking dickheads. They're all dickheads. Even the one on CNN. They're all like, and how does Chase Gallagher go from shitting on Democrats to now shitting on Republicans? Literally, I'm talking about Shepard Smith. Shepard Smith got fired by Fox, or he left Fox and went to fucking CNN, and literally changed his entire political fucking, changed everything, which I guess you have to, I guess, just to get the job. And these guys are making millions a year, so I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody thought about me either. If what I mean? If they called me up and said, hey, you have to tell the heel shit podcast guys to suck your dick, and lick your balls, and you're gonna get fucking $2 million a year. I mean, yeah, I'd fucking tell you guys to lick my fucking taint, send you checks, and tell you what time the fucking the after party started. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sell out. I don't give a fuck. I ain't no better than anybody else. But you just have to wonder, like, what the process is. Like, are there scouts? Like, how do you become a dickhead scout? Like, what do you, like, seriously, like to hire some of these motherfuckers that are spokesmen or agents for NFL players. Some of these agents, now, the Rosenhaus and some of the others, they seem like they're pretty squared away. But a lot of these agents, man, they're just, they're a fucking dick. How do you convince Mary's youngest son, Bobby, to fucking commit to you taking care of all his business and him paying you a percentage to do it when you're such a fucking turd? I just don't get it. I don't get it. The world is being overrun with turds. Our president right now, I don't care what your politics are, he's a fucking turd. He's a turd. Our last president was the biggest turd. Like, we're being run by turds. There's no guys that you're going, hey man, I'd like to go have a beer with it. Right. I'll be honest with you, the last guy that I would want to hang out and talk to is probably Bill Clinton.
Absolutely.
Maybe fucking Barack Obama. Maybe.
Oh, you'd have more fun with Bill though.
But Bill, you're going to chase whores. You're in the titty bar. You're in the fucking titty bar, brother. You're in the titty bar with a fistful of singles. Yeah.
I like the ones with the big booties.
Yeah. And he's got a cigar story for like half of them. You know. The guy stuck a cigar up an intern's ass. And it became public, and it became part of the fucking case. Like, and he stayed president. What other, you name a CEO job.
Because it was a fucking economic utopia at the time.
Dark Horse is my CEO of my fucking candy company. And it comes out that he stuck a cigar up an intern's ass. You could be the fucking manager at a Walgreens. If you stick a cigar up one of your fucking employees' asses, you're getting fired. You know? But you could be the fucking president and stick your cigar up a chick's ass.
No, if interest rates were 20% and the job market was down and high unemployment, he would have been fucking gone.
Yeah, but shit.
I mean, everything was good. Everything was good.
And not only that, they're like, oh, her evidence is she's got DNA on her dress. Like, I mean, there was enough evidence to fucking completely railroad this motherfucker. But you're right. Things were good back then. We haven't had it as good since it was back then. I don't think.
No. I mean,
not even close.
It was fairly peaceful.
You and I were kids. We were fucking kids. Well, maybe. Yeah. Pretty much like early 20s. I was.
Yeah. No, I was still in high school, I think.
Yeah, that was good shit. That was fucking good shit. Lollipop, man. I remember in my 20s, when I was in my 20s, if you weren't making $1,000 a week doing some kind of job, you were either a drug dealer or a bum, and you were making $2,000 a week, or you were just a piece of shit. And you just did, I didn't know people that were like making $15 an hour working at fucking McDonald's or $12 an hour, whatever it was. I didn't know, like, everybody found a way to make money. Like it seemed like it was impossible not to.
Right.
And if you didn't have a good job, you were selling dope. You were selling weed or cocaine to somebody, and you were making money hand over fist. I probably shouldn't say that, but whatever. It's different. It's different back then.
It's a different world. Yeah.
We didn't have the snitch fucking.
Well, this.
Go ahead. I know something we can talk about. Have you? There's a certain somebody that you and I know.
Okay. That
used to be in your faction at Adrenaline, that is being accused of giving some girl HIV.
Yeah, dude. Della mentioned something about that last night when we were doing Weekend Wrestling. She said it was going on Facebook. Obviously, we won't disclose who it is, but like, what's the story?
Okay. Let me preface this by saying that the individual that we're talking about is a friend of mine. He does not handle his social media presence very well.
Look, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He reached out to me and he told me the story. And the story I got was that he met this girl on Tinder. She catfished him. She was like some big fucking sea monster. So he told her right off rip. He went out with her anyway, and they had they went out on a date and they had fun. But he told her, he said, I'm just not attracted to you that way. Like, sorry. She got all bent out of shape and supposedly made all these fake fucking text messages that look fake to me because the number doesn't match or that guy's phone number. Anyway, that guy's phone number. So it's fishy, But supposedly the reason he told her he didn't want to see her, she says, is because he told her that he had HIV. Which, of all the excuses to give somebody, like tell them I've told chicks before, look, my penis will never get hard. We will not have a sex life if we date. My penis won't get hard. I just don't see you that way. I've said that before. I thought that was awful and one of the most horrible things you could ever say to somebody. But apparently there's a one-up. Lying and saying that you have HIV. Now, maybe he said it and he was joking around. He says he never said it. I believe him because that guy's not that. He's a funny guy, but he's not that fucking. He's not sick like I am. You know what I mean? He's not. He's. And I feel bad because I told him, I said, the only way, this is how you fix it. Tomorrow you go get an HIV test. If the HIV test comes back negative, cut this shit, cut this bitch off. Why are you still talking to her? Now he's got other people, other dudes threatening him and wanting to beat him up and all this other shit. And I'm like, bro, that's because you won't shut up. When you get called on the carpet for some fuck shit, the last thing you do is make 3 posts on Facebook defending yourself without defending yourself. Just talking and giving people a chance to talk. I swear to God, these wrestling schools, they need to teach these guys. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like me, if I get canceled, I could give a fuck. I had a 25-year career. I probably admit that I did it. You know what I mean? If I did something cancel worthy, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I did. I'd had a fun time doing it. If I had a chance, I'd do it again. Fuck you, lick my ass, every one of you motherfucker. That could be one of the reasons why I don't get canceled, because people don't think I give a fuck. It might also be because maybe I'm above being canceled. Now, I'm sure I'm not above being canceled for some of the things other guys we canceled for, but I don't. My personal life and my wrestling life seldom intersect. Unless you're real close to me, you don't know my personal business. Like you. You and I are like, you and I are closer than I am with 99% of the people out there. You know what I mean? They don't know my personal shit.
Right.
And I'm not big on the dating scene anyway right now. Like I have higher priorities, shit that I just have to deal with. But man, first of all, I would never tell everybody that I met somebody on Tinder. Second of all, I certainly would never tell everybody that I met somebody on Tinder that I was not attracted to and went out on a date with them anyway. And my excuse to stop seeing them was that I had HIV. Now, I'm not sure if he said that or if she made that up, but she's got all these text messages she's been screenshotting and sending to everybody. Fucking promoters, like multiple promoters called me yesterday asking me about this shit. And I was like, I don't know, but I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. I was like, if you guys leave it alone, it'll blow over in a couple days. And they're like, we're not the ones fucking even looking. We're not even asking the questions. This motherfucker's out there putting the information out every fucking hour.
Yeah, I mean.
So I called him. I said, look, bro. And he's like, so you think I should just stop talking? I said, yes. Shut the fuck up. Priority 1 for you should be, should I shut the fuck down? No, I should shut the fuck up. Like, that should be your priority. Shut the fuck up. I don't care what anyone says moving forward from this point on. Until you have an HIV test that says, look, I'm negative, suck my dick. That's it. And I wouldn't even put that on Facebook. I would let people inquire, promoters that say, hey, like, we heard you had HIV. Oh, here, I took a test, I'm negative. This is the date. Here's a copy of it. Then you move on. But he's trying to get other people, like he's telling people, oh, I called the FBI. No, you didn't, motherfucker. No, you didn't. The FBI didn't tell you they were going to help you out with this. The FBI wouldn't. They got bigger fish to fry. We got national security issues, dude. Well, they're not. Shut up. Stop lying. Stop making up shit. Stop saying you're going to sue people. You don't have an attorney, motherfucker. What attorney do you have on retainer? You're a line cook. Shut the fuck up. It's like, it's just shut up. If he would just shut the fuck up, it would go away.
Right.
And I know when he sees this, and he will see it. I know when he sees this, he's going to think that I'm bashing him. But bro, the best advice I could give you as the best friend that loves you more than anybody, if I was your motherfucking dad, I would tell you, hey bro, shut the fuck up. and other wrestlers, hear me. Because a lot of us out here wouldn't even know that the shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that made it, so we all know.
Right.
And if that was your intention, you're an idiot. When all you had to do was shut the fuck up. Just shut up. And they want to be heard. You know, they want to fucking expose somebody, and then in turn they expose themselves, and then, you know, and then they just look dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber, not by the day, by the fucking hour. They don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Don't shut the fuck up.
He's had that problem for a while. I mean, and let me just start by saying, when we're in the same place and we're fucking around, I love the dude. He's a great guy.
He's cool. He's a cool dude. He's a
cool guy. But you're right about the social media stuff. I mean, when we had those issues with El Rey, and he, you know, like, it was just a mess, man. It's just a mess. And he would lash out. Like, he would have a fight with El Rey, and just because I was an associate of him, like, he would, like, lash out at me. Like, sending me messages, like, why, you know, like, dude, nobody, this isn't a hive mentality. Just because El Rey is a piece of shit,
right,
you know, doesn't mean the rest of us think that way.
Well, see, here's the cycle too, and a lot of people told me this that I talked to yesterday. Like, he'll start believing that everybody's against him, and he'll start accusing people that didn't even know about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They wouldn't even know about it had not he brought it up to them. Like, he's trying to get support on something that is a real slippery slope to support. You know, and this has been going on for a month, and I was on a show 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
You know, I don't know that you can transfer HIV in the ring. I don't know. I don't know the science. I'm not going to pretend to. But, you know, make people think, what the fuck, bro? Like, really? You know, I just don't. It's certainly making promoters perk up and go, we're gonna need to see how this ends up before we can book you.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's talking about, oh, I'm gonna quit the business. He does the same shit every fucking time. And the thing is, man, and I feel bad. Like, I feel bad talking about him, but I don't feel bad talking about him because, man, if this is what it takes to get him to fucking see the light, so that fuck wrestling, so that he can have a happy life, because he's a guy that deserves to have a happy life. He's not a bad guy.
No, definitely not.
He's not a bad guy. He doesn't have evil intent. Usually he doesn't start shit with people. Usually it's always reactive. It's something they fuck with him. But he takes shit and he goes so hard with it, man, that he ends up alienating a lot of people. And then the next thing you know, you see him at a show and he's the same guy he always was.
Right.
And that's what makes it hard to hate the guy. It's hard to hate him. You know, because he's not a bad guy, and there's a lot of people out there. You know, there's a lot of good guys in the wrestling business. As a matter of fact, we say it all the time. I'll be like, yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, well, they all are. You know, when it comes time to booking them, you can't book them because they suck. There's a lot of great guys out there that I can't book because they suck.
Mm-hmm.
So we go through, you know, that there's that, and you know, Gator's right in there with. Depending on what version you get, you might get a great version of him in the ring, and you might get a what the fuck was that in the ring? There's no telling. And a lot of that is because he puts so much pressure on himself, and he I already said his name twice. Sorry, brother.
That's cool. I'll bleep it out.
But he's fucking, you know, maybe that's the problem. Maybe he lives inside his head and his heart too much to where you have to let shit roll off you, or you're fucking. If you let people say shit, like there's shit show guys out there that are fucking pissed off at me. They say all kinds of shit about me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, because the reason why they don't like me is simply because I know they suck. They don't do anything to try to fix it. They don't try anything to get better, and they blame me for the fact that they can't get booked on shows I have nothing to do with. Just because the promoter calls me and asks me what I think of them. I tell them the truth. I wouldn't book him. Why? Oh, because for the same money you can get this guy that's 10 times better?
Right.
Why would you? Why would you? I'm not going to give bad advice to somebody. You know, and you know, for example, I mentioned this on the last show. 2 guys that Crazy Bastards worked at the pot show.
Yep.
Motherfuckers suck. Suck. I wouldn't fucking recommend them to work anyone. They are not fit to work anyone. Because if you can't work a fucking 8-minute match with Christian Mills and John Strange without hurting one or both of them, you suck. Just there, it's easy. It's easy work. It's comedy. You know, and you want to get all your shit in, and all your shit looks like crap anyway because you never practiced it. You know, I don't give a fuck what those guys think. I don't care if they don't like me. Well, I mean, I ain't that hard to find. You know, I don't give a fuck. So, and the reason they don't like me is because I won't book them. There's others that are associated with them. A guy that does a Middle Eastern gimmick that we all know who I'm talking about. Sucks. Come on. How does this guy get booked? Well, because he does that gimmick. And he probably works for free or $20 or whatever. And at one time I booked him. Back when I was booking for a shit show, which was CFWE. It was a shit show, without a doubt. I was booking with a very limited budget. I used him because I was doing a show in Redneck Polk County where if I had a USA versus fucking Iraq angle, it wouldn't matter. Those motherfuckers are so backwards that I could have done a USA Iraq angle if Iraq was our guests at the Olympics. Like, fucking, you know what I mean? It's like everybody out in Polk County has a fuck Biden's, you know, like banner on their front door or some shit. It's ultra conservative. I could run a Russian storyline angle back when we were cool with the Russians. I could run an anti-Mexico fucking thing when half the fucking crowd's Mexican. It's just, that's the way it is. It's just Polk County. And I used him. And probably he got over the best he ever got over. Now I'm a dick because I wouldn't book him on adrenaline or knockout or anything else. But he just wasn't. These guys don't understand. It's not personal. I look at it like it's for the money, for the amount of money that I'm spending on you. Can I do better? And if that answer is yes, what the fuck? Why would I book you? You know, why would anybody book you? Because I booked you one before. You know, when it was budget, it made sense. Now I don't need a $20 guy in the 2-hole. I need a $40 guy in the 2-hole, and I'm not paying you $40. Sorry, or $60 or whatever.
Right.
You know, and it's like you heard me say this a million times, Tom. This motherfucker doesn't need he doesn't need nearly as much ring training as he does a calculator. You know, you need to know what you're worth. A lot of these guys, they don't know what they're worth. Now there's promoters out there that will book the shit out of them because they lowball. And you know, have at it. Go for it. I don't want people to not get work. I don't wish that on anybody. But I'm not going to spearhead the shit show charge either. You know, especially now, because there's just not as many places to work as there was a year ago. And that doesn't mean that we want to have more shit shows either. It just means that the shit shows are there. That there's plenty of shit shows right now for everybody to stay busy.
Yep.
You know, and that want to stay busy. And the ones that are putting any effort into this at all are getting better. There's a lot of guys that are working shit shows out there that I've noticed got better. They started going to Proving Ground. They started going to WXW. They did the things that they needed to do to get more reps and work with people that would teach them the right way to do things. And I'm seeing it, and there's a lot of them, and I'm proud of all of them. I'm go for it, man. Let me tell you something. That Raven Skylark kid has gotten exponentially better.
Yeah, he has.
Heck, way better. He's gotten a lot better. I don't even know the kid, and I'm proud of him. You know, there's just a lot of them I've seen. I noticed. I'm not just all negative. You know, But I don't know, man. Like, back to what we were talking about originally. You know, young wrestlers. If you're listening, watching, you can think, "Oh, this old man doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about." Okay, cool. Well, I'm telling you right now, even if you don't believe in most of what I say, believe in this. Shutting the fuck up is always better. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Any time is a good time. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. If you get yourself in a pinch, or you say something you shouldn't have said, or you did something you shouldn't have done, don't seek out ways of defending yourself when no one's asking you to.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up. And then get with someone that has a decent fucking like reputation. Reach out, and say, "Hey, how do I handle this?" And some people are going to tell you, "Oh, you're fucked. Throw yourself on the sword." And maybe that's the case. Maybe that is the right thing to do at that. But you'll know when to do it. It's not, don't offer up all this extra info and all this other shit and bring up other people's names and like get other people involved to where they have to say something, otherwise they look like an asshole. When you start doing that, it creates this cloud, and then the cloud just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the next thing you know, the fallout from it is way worse than the bomb. And when that happens, it's too far gone.
Right.
I mean, I had multiple wrestlers call me yesterday and say, "I will never take a booking from you again if this guy's on the card." And some of them you guys know. And you know what? I couldn't say anything other than, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that half of them were full of shit? Probably. Because it came right down to it and they wanted to book, and it was booking, And we find out that, well, what I already know is that the kid's not HIV positive. Because I point blank asked him, I said, "Are you HIV positive?" He goes, "No." I said, "Why in the fuck would you put that out there for anyone?" And then he said, "I'm not sure." He keeps saying he's not sure if he actually said that or not. Which, where did this girl get it from? I mean, do you think?
That's a
what do you guys?
Pretty
what do you
big
guys?
mic
What do you
drop to
guys
not
think? What do
remember.
you? Yeah, but what do you think the over under is? That he actually said it versus the girl making it up. Keeping in mind that this bitch did make fake screenshot text messages, which there's several apps you can do that with. What do you think the over under is?
I mean,
I don't think it matters
30%?
entirely whether or not. Yeah, like I don't think it matters entirely whether or not he said it or not at this point. Why? Because defending saying it should have happened privately between him and her, or because I don't know who the people were that received these screenshots. I've only heard things like promoters, but I didn't receive shit. Here's the one that told me to edit that out. He's the one that told me.
Apparently, Jesus Christ, you said his name again.
Yeah, you're gonna go through the whole episode.
Just every time I say his name, say dumb fuck. Dumb fuck. That'd be funny as shit.
No. Dumb fuck.
Yeah, dumb fuck. No, I mean, I feel bad for him, but I don't know what to do for him.
I would say there's a 30% chance he said it. I would say that it's probably the worst excuse you could come up with to not want to see a chick again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my dick fell off in the war. Like, I don't have a dick. I have crabs. Like, there's so many other like things
How
you can do.
about
any
I
other
just
veneer
don't want to
looks-
fuck you? Like,
Yeah. How about there's so many other less life-threatening veneers they could have chosen, that would have been as equally effective.
how about just preference? Say, look,
What was
you
the
don't look
last
like
time you
did
ever
on
met
the
a chick?
pictures.
When was the last time you ever met a chick that went, "Oh, you just have crabs? Oh, that's no problem. I thought it was something worse."
Oh, it's only herp. It's only the herp.
It's only the simplex. Simplex 1 or simplex 2, because that's important.
Definitely feeling simplexy somewhere up in there, though.
Yeah.
Definitely feeling yeah. What's going on, Draven? You're kind of quiet this morning.
Oh, I'm just sitting back and listening to y'all talk shit.
How's your shoulder?
It's still attached.
Tell Thump and everybody what happened to that.
Okay, so I work at a mental ward. I'm not going to give out names or anything like that because I don't want to get fucking fired.
Sure.
But I got this guy who I call Mini Keith Lee. He's like 4.5 foot tall and he's built like fucking Keith Lee's built. And this motherfucker judo throwed me like almost 2 fucking weeks ago. And I landed on my fucking shoulder wrong, not thinking anything was wrong with it. I went to the fucking ER yesterday because I woke up with like the most immense pain I've ever had since my neck was broken. Come to find out, the motherfucker tore fucking ligaments and partially dislocated my shoulder. I've been doing that for the past 2.5 fucking weeks. So, Mini Keith Lee's a fucking asshole, and he's going to know about it when I get there today.
Wow. Is he a employee of the place, or?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He's
so
a
he had to
patient?
do it. Yeah.
He's a patient?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Drop total, brother.
Think it's time for the malicious intent on that fucker.
Hey. Anytime is a good time for a drop toe hold, and just go ahead and grab a hold. Just grab a hold. Grab a hold. Yeah, you don't want to try to fucking seatbelt suplex a guy like that. You might end up with a blown nut.
His thing is, he's like in his 40s, but he has the mentality of a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's also schizophrenic as fuck.
Oh yeah. I would say back off on that one. Let it just take the L.
Yeah, no, I'm not like.
You can't really win for losing.
That little.
Person, I found out. I kind of look like his uncle who fucked with him because of the baldness and the big beard and shit like that. So I guess it just triggered him and he just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna get my revenge on this fucker."
Maybe buy him some Skittles.
How was his technique, though?
Lead in with Taste the Rainbow. You don't want this fucking guy ragdolling you around the hospital. Is there other bigger guys there that can help you?
Oh yeah.
Starts fucking you. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you know. But you might want to offer him up a Skittle or two.
I'm probably gonna get some shit like that as a commissary.
Yeah.
But
tell him a couple Skittles and see if that does anything.
I don't know if they got Skittles today, but I know they got honey buns.
Get little sugar cubes and be like, sit.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah, say sit and throw him at him like he's a monkey. Like he's a monkey and
like,
fucking yeah.
Like if he comes at you, show it to him and chuck it off to the side. So it's.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys bother watching Cocaine Bear?
I have not yet. I plan on doing it in the next week or so.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So bad.
It's horrible.
Terrible.
Is it one of those that's so bad that it's funny, or is it just horrible?
It's horrible. It's so bad that I struggle to believe that it actually happened, even though they say it's based on a true story.
It did not happen like that, though. Here's the true story. Here's the true story. Is the guy it was the DEA was closing in on a plane. They did check all their shit out. The guy did wind up lawn darting himself into a driveway, and an old man found him. All that's true. The bear did find cocaine. That's true. He ate a shit ton of it. His heart went crazy. He bolted for about 100 yards, and his heart blew up. So he
sounds about right.
He didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
All that was horseshit, but
yeah,
definitely a good prop for a movie though. It's like, hey, it's a pretty good story. But yeah, no, the real story was crazy. The dude fucking divoted himself into this old man's driveway because the shit didn't open.
Oh God.
This
And
poor,
you knew there was two guys getting high somewhere. They were like, let's make a movie about that.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
something like that. Yeah, there was.
And it'll probably do well on the pay-per-view side. Like,
Oh, it's on
in the
streaming
theaters.
now. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay-per-view it. It's on. Well, I don't know if it was Peacock or HBO Max, but it's
Yeah.
already out there.
wow.
No. It's on the cock.
It's on the cock.
It's
Yeah,
on Peacock, though.
yeah, no, that was funny. One movie I want to definitely go see is Sisu. Yeah, the movie about from the makers of John Wick, where this guy has a fluffy dog, but it's set in Nazi times, and like they give him a hard time, and he just goes on a Nazi killing spree.
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you the trailer for it. I saw it when we went and saw John Wick 4, and like as soon as the trailer got done, I sent it to Dark and said, "We have to fucking see this. Like it looks that fucking good."
And the big marketing thing was, it'll be awesome if the dog doesn't die. As long as the dog doesn't die. As long as the dog doesn't die. And they end it with, "Don't worry, the dog lives."
That's like awesome.
But yeah, no, it just looks hilarious and over the top. Very John Wickish, but killing Nazis. So that'll be.
Didn't it release
Second,
this week?
it got released
Didn't
on
it just-
Friday. Yeah, last Friday.
Well, hell, I'm gonna have to go watch it Friday at theaters.
Yeah. If Heather doesn't want to see it, maybe we'll go see it.
Cool.
Speaking of
We'll
something
go
to
on.
watch, Thump. Obviously, we welcome you. We're gonna do a live stream watch along for like the last quarter of WrestleMania 5. We're gonna live stream it, and just see if we have a good time with that. I'm not sure if it's gonna be probably next Saturday night.
Saturdays are rough, bro.
Yeah,
I think we're both next Saturday somewhere.
probably.
That's the 10th. We'll look somewhere.
What do you guys got planned for the day?
Today,
Go to
I
work.
gotta work.
Go to work.
Anything like that.
Go give Keith
Better.
Lee his $100 in Skittles.
Yeah. Give him Skittles and whoop his ass.
Just toss a bunch of Skittles in the air, and he's like this, pop. Just
Hang on a second. Jackie, shut up. I think there's somebody at my door, guys.
Yeah, well,
We can wait.
What do you got planned for the day?
just working. I mean, I don't have to leave this desk, so just gonna slide into my shoot job right after this.
Ordering DoorDash and getting fucked up. Gotcha.
That's what I do. That's all I do.
I know that's what you do.
DoorDash. Where do you get DoorDash from usually?
In the
Wawa.
morning, either McDonald's or Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. Chick-fil-A's got good bread.
Yeah, they do.
Sure do.
Those little fucking chicken bites. Oh my god.
Oh, the new KFC nuggets are off the chain, man.
Are they?
Yeah, I don't trust it.
And they're in a class of their own.
Mm.
Seriously, in a class of their own.
Now are they different than like the popcorn chicken they had before?
Yes, they're bigger, but the same consistency.
Okay.
So it's like real chicken. It's not like a processed nugget.
Oh,
Right.
that's awesome.
They're really, really good.
Just a couple announcements before we end it here. Don't forget we have our first contest giveaway going on right now. There's a video on YouTube and Rumble about the details. Essentially, we need you to check out HSP 5, where we debate our top 10 wrestlers of all time. There were 2 of those where we both had the same wrestler at the same number. I need you to send us an email with both of them, the wrestler and what number, and they have to be the 2 that we had at the same number. send that to heelshitpodcast@gmail.com, and we're going to be picking 2 people to get heel shit t-shirts. I'm probably going to do this every month or 2. So send us your entries. We'll pick 2 of them. This thing is open until May 15th, and we will announce the winners by the end of the month. So get it done. You've only got 12 more days.
Pretty much.
So.
And it's absolutely fucking free, guys. I mean, who doesn't want free shit?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, shit talkers.
I appreciate it.
Good times.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Next week, let's do some road stories. How about that?
I'm down with
Oh,
that.
that's easy.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, let's just make it a comical show next week.
I'll have no fear.
All right, guys. Well, I had a great
All my
time.
road stories are funny. Well, there's some pretty fucked up ones that end up being funny. But yeah, I got road stories.
Sweet. All right. Well, for Thump Dupree and Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Cordz. Thank you for listening to Talkin' Shit, and we'll be back next time. Peace.
Bye.